Hey YouTube, Sarah Jane. I know I said I wasn't going to make a video until Thursday, but I got a question today from one of my subscribers, and it's a question that I actually had been thinking about making a video about. And so I figured, you know what the heck, might as well make a video rather than type it out, and maybe this will be helpful to other people. First, before I get into that, quick update. I'm very excited. Those of you who have been watching know that my personal goal was to lose 20 pounds before surgery and get under 300 pounds. As of this morning, I am under 300 pounds. So I'm very excited about that. I still have like 5 days till surgery, so I'm not going off my pre-op diet because I made my personal goal or anything, but I am excited because my personal goal is achieved. I did get under 300 pounds, so I'm pretty excited about that. Also, just a product that I ran into, because you guys might run into it and it might be helpful. Women's Ultra Mega Formula. I was at GNC buying protein drinks, and the salesman was like, wow, you know, all the gastric people, they love this stuff because it's, you know, it's so good for you. And so I was like, all right, I'll buy a packet. It was $2, and I'm not really good at, you know, salespeople. I got home, and it's really impressive. There's a lot of everything. There's also a lot of calories. 90 calories from my vitamins. No thank you, don't want them. So those of you who have someone try to sell you on this stuff, 90 calories. If you want to spend the 90 calories on vitamins, go for it. I'm not trying to tell you this is bad. There is a lot of great stuff in this packet, but personally, I don't want 90 calories worth of vitamins in my diet. So the question I was asked was why I chose lapband over gastric bypass. You have to know that for me, now it's not the same for everyone, but for me, the major plus over lapband for gastric bypass would have been the speed. I know for other people, I know a friend of mine is going through it now and is probably going to get gastric bypass because the kind of diabetes he has is generally cured by having gastric bypass or a certain type of gastric bypass. There are other reasons, but for me it would have been speed. And I've been big my whole life. Taking 2 years to lose this weight versus 1 year is not a problem, and that's not exact, but you know, going a little slower is not a problem for me. I took a long time to put it on, and I don't mind taking a little while to take it off. So that was just not a factor. What was a factor to me is my mom had gastric bypass. She'd kill me because I don't know exactly, but it was about 7 years ago. I want to be very clear on this because I don't want to get flack from people who've had gastric bypass and are like, well, that doesn't apply to me. My mom and I share genetics. I don't share genetics with all of you people. So if you had better experiences than my mom, I'm so happy for you. I don't want to say she had a bad experience. I'm going to be honest about all of this. But I don't want to get flack from people saying, well, you know, this isn't what happened when I had gastric bypass. Well, you know, my mom is half of my genes. So she was my very best comparison. My mom, the first thing with my mom is my mom would get sick a lot. Not horribly sick, but uncomfortable sick. And so I noticed that at least for like probably a couple of years at least, I don't really know, we don't hang out a whole lot, she would have to leave like family gatherings and stuff early, way early, because she would eat the wrong thing and she would be sick. And we can get stuck. I'm not saying we can't get stuck. We can get stuck, but generally, you know, you can kind of take care of that. She would get really sick, and I didn't want to deal with that. She also, in more recent years, now she's older. She's 25 years older than me, which would make her 59. 59. I don't know. She's she's older than me, but she's been in and out of the hospital a lot with digestive problems, colon problems, whatever. There's no definitive link between her surgery and what's going on with her. But they can't definitively say it didn't have anything to do with the surgery. So why would I want to take that risk? It just didn't make sense to me. Also, dumping dumping doesn't sound like a really pleasant consequence, and you don't do that with lap band. What I like about lap band, as far as redumping, is I can put in my mouth anything I want to put in my mouth, and I might get it stuck, but I'm not going to have an extreme reaction. I'm not going to pass out on the floor. I'm not going to. So it's not that I want to be able to eat like crazy, but I want to know that if I make a mistake, I'm not going to end up in the hospital. I'm not going to end up on the floor. I'm not going to pass out in the middle of the store. I'm not going to any of that. If I make a mistake, I'm going to end up in the bathroom throwing it up. And that's pretty much the worst consequence. So that for me was a big deal. I like the fact that lap band is adjustable. When you have gastric bypass, they go in and it's one size fits all, and they just do it. With the lap band, they can adjust it, and not only can they adjust it, because most of us think about fills for the first year, they can adjust it forever. So if 5 years from now I start putting on weight, or whatever, I'm too loose, I'm not comfortable, they can adjust it. With gastric bypass, that's it. You're done. They can also take it out. If I get sick, I can get the nutrition that I need. My mom's in and out of the hospital with digestive issues, and they can't do anything. It's it is the way it is. So I really like that about it. And the last thing, and some people might think this is a silly reason, but it was important to me, is that it is completely undoable. Which is important. I have no plans of ever getting it taken out. I need it. But if I do get like my mom and I get sick, or if there's complications, or they've only been doing these surgeries for so many years, if they discover 20 years down the road that these surgeries are bad for you, or there's problems or whatever, they can take it out. It is not permanent. They can undo it. And I can go back to the way I was. Now, granted, the way I was is big, but I like the fact that if things go wrong, there's the safety net of being able to take it out. So, those are my reasons in a nutshell. There's there's little reasons along the road. I feel more comfortable traveling with the lap band because worst case scenario, I have to get an unfill in another country. I don't have to worry about, what if I end up in the hospital because, there's problems and my stomach's burst open or whatever. I realize there are more serious complications with lap band, like erosion, but they are not very common. So that is why I made my decision. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I am not a doctor. I only have my own research and the information I've gotten from watching you find people here on YouTube. But those are my personal reasons. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, do my best to help out, and I will update y'all in a few days. Bye!